From deadly poison gas littering the battlefield,
to fighter planes roaring above.
here's our take on the Battlefield 1 Insider Open Beta.
Now let's get started.
Okay, starting off this list and staying true to Battlefield series roots, we have 4 primary weapon classes. You have the Support, Assault, Medical, and Recon. But for the sake of right now, we're going to talk about specifically the Recon class. With the Recon class, you start out with a max damage bolt action rifle that is very accurate. I personally like it. I was able to upgrade to another weapon, but it just didn't feel as satisfying as this bolt action rifle. However, accompanied with the bolt action rifle, we have a pistol sidearm, a gas mask, a flare gun, and some kind of special armor piercing round that can penetrate tanks, airplanes, and light armor vehicles. Next up, we have the Support class, and again, staying true to the Battlefield series roots, this class is pretty predictable in a sense. You come equipped with a standard LMG, a tripwire, which is pretty unique and quite useful in battle, a sidearm pistol, and a small little ammo stash that I'm assuming as you level up your Support class, it'll probably rank up kind of how it did in Battlefield 4. Okay, next up, and probably my favorite class during the beta trial, would have to be the Assault class. Spawning in with a MP18, a sidearm pistol, dynamite, anti-tank grenades, standard grenades, and a melee device, the Assault class is the perfect class to wreak havoc on your enemies. And lastly, but not least, we have the Medical class. Spawning in, you start out with a semi-automatic rifle, a sidearm pistol, a syringe kit that serves the purpose of being a revive tool or the defibrillators like in Battlefield 4, a small heal pack, which again I'm going to assume that as you level up the medic class it's going to grow and maybe it will become a medic crate or something much larger, a frag grenade, and a melee weapon.
So next topic is graphics. Battlefield 1 was just phenomenal with the graphics and the graphical capability of it. I mean, I've got a GTX 980 and it just ran like a champ. I maxed out the settings and I was getting constant 60 frames per second using VSync. I think I'd probably get upwards of like 100 and 120, something like that if I didn't use VSync, but there's no point. The Levolution in the game was also pretty good. It was kind of like Battlefield Bad Company 2, where you could just destroy pretty much everything, and it was really good with the Levolution and all that stuff in the games as well. Now the graphics with the Xbox, definitely, of course, it's a console, so it doesn't have as much graphical capability as the PCs, but I would say it was pretty good as well. I was able to play at one of my friend's house not too long ago, so I was able to kind of get a comparison between the PC and the Xbox. Definitely the controls aren't as easy to use. Not exactly easy to use, but they're, I mean, console with the mouse and keyboard versus the controller, it's a little bit different. Now the wind, there is wind kind of like Parcel Storm or Parcel Storm. I don't remember what it was in Battlefield 4, that map. Where like in Parcel Storm, where the wind comes in and it's kind of hard to see. This one's kind of the same way, except for you really can't see. It's a sandstorm that comes in, and I thought that was really cool. You were able to kind of like sneak around enemies and stuff like that. Alex was in a plane and stuff like that, and he could not see at all. So Battlefield definitely brought the realism in that as well.
Alright, in conclusion, it definitely wouldn't be a Battlefield 1 review if we did not mention anywhere about the light or the armored train. The train that if your team has, it's almost guaranteed to win because it can put down so much artillery and so much fire on the enemy team, you can keep them pinned down for almost the entirety of the rest of the game.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get into the vehicle at all until like later on. But Alex was driving and I was the one shooting, and we'll also get into one of the bugs into that as well about the not being able to shoot properly.
The online experience, I mean, there was noticeably a lot more bugs than upcoming titles recently that we've been able to have early access to. I mean, it doesn't really take away from the game. I mean, I still pre-ordered, but I mean, it was still quite. I mean, there was a lot of bugs.
I know one of the bugs was that I had to shoot up very high before I was able to actually get my shot on target, like very high. Not like your normal Battlefield where you kind of aim up a little bit for the drop and all that stuff. I had to aim like 50 feet in the air for my bullets to go like straight ahead. It was ridiculous how much I had to aim up. I don't think you didn't have any of that issues, did you?
You see, I didn't because, like you said, I was actually driving the train, and so when I was driving the train and you were doing the shooting, of course, one thing that was kind of, it wasn't necessarily boring, but I wish there was more to it, and I wish that you can take the train and you can kind of go in like a circular route around the map instead of just going forward and backward, because, I mean, I feel like you're really, really limited to your playing experience with the super weapon. I mean, in a sense, it is like the super weapon. I mean, in Battlefield 4, it's like the AC-130 above. So, I feel like you are limited only being able to go forward and backwards. I mean, granted, yeah, it does zigzag through the map a good amount, but I feel like that would be something that I'd like to see changed a little bit. And I don't necessarily think it would be OP if it was able to go around the entire map, because if a bomber, one of the big bomber planes, if it's able to drop its payload a couple times on it, it'll kill the train, no problem. So I do feel like it's balanced fairly well.
Yeah, I mean, other than the fact that, I mean, I think I was able to get a couple hits off of the enemies with that, even though I had to aim like super high, but it wasn't like super OP. I mean, yes, I only got a couple shots off, but I think one shot did like 64 damage to a person, like the one hit or something like that. So I mean, it does a fair amount of damage if you get on target.
Yeah. All right, moving forward, let's discuss the special weapons that you can find throughout the map.
So there's the LMG. I only got to use very little. You couldn't really ADS on that. Actually, I don't think you can't.
No, you can. That's kind of a disadvantage, but I don't know. It might be kind of a balancing as well, because I mean the thing does. I mean, we got to keep in mind the thing does hold 1,000 rounds to it. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was able to kind of I was able to get the weapon, but I got a couple shots off before someone else killed me. Actually, I think it was a sniper that killed me. So one thing that I did notice is that it respawns every time someone gets shot. So I don't know the like the time delay or whatever, but it does respawn because I was able to go back and someone else already got it and that killed me by it. So
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's not the only special weapon that you're able to get on this map. I do know that on this map specifically, the only trial map on the open beta, I can't remember the life of me the name of it. I know it starts with an S, and it's a desert.
It's a high desert.
Okay. I know that there's 3 special weapon crates, one of them being the LMG that we cannot, you can't aim down sight on. Yeah, so it's really, really effective in close quarter combat. But as you go to medium and far, I almost feel like it's not even worth it because the bullet spread is so radical, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
But another one would be the flamethrower. The flamethrower, I personally didn't get to use it. So did you?
Yeah, I didn't use it, but I got killed by it a couple times. It was kind of funny because I started to like run around and like jumped on top of me and like killed me that way. And jumped off my ledge.
So I haven't even been killed by the thing. Do you think it's OP? Or what are your thoughts on it?
I don't think so. It took a little bit for me to die, but because he jumped from behind, I couldn't get a shot off him because I had to turn around.
Okay.
So.
All right, that's fine. All right, moving forward. I know that there's one more, but like I said, I cannot remember what it was. But
yeah, it was a tanker. That thing I think is kind of OP. I know.
A tanker.
I played with that. I think is what it was called. It shot me like not point blank, but it killed me across the map.
Oh wow.
When I was playing on the Xbox with one of my friends.
Oh wow.
So it was only one shot, so I don't know. I haven't really experienced much with it, so other than getting killed by it once. Because at first I was like, what is this? I don't see this weapon on the thing. And I was like, oh wait, that's
what was it?
Special.
I mean, can you explain a little bit what it was? Because I mean, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Oh, you
I
don't
don't
know
really
either?
know it. I mean, it
happened
just
so fast?
showed that I was killed by, yeah.
All right, let's move
like,
forward
screw it, I
then.
don't wanna-
Let's move forward to bugs and glitches. We were talking about this a little bit a minute ago, and there was a lot of bugs and glitches, like I said. One of them that I found really, it was almost kind of funny. When you're a caravan's trooper on horseback, my weapon actually bugged. It was kind of weird. I wish I recorded it. My weapon bugged, and I was using my rifle as a sword, so it was kind of funky. It was registering my rifle as the sword, so I was just swinging my gun. But that was a really weird one. There was quite a few more, like, but they weren't as extreme. I mean, like, I was getting constant rubber banding. I was getting, you're getting stuck in a lot of really weird places. Like you were saying, you get stuck with the tank. Like stuck on weird things that you shouldn't be stuck on. The traditional Battlefield, I don't know how you would word it, physics in a way, where if you're in a plane and you like if you smack into something, sometimes you don't actually blow up, you just kind of slow down drastically and then you keep going. Those are kind of weird ones. Did you notice any other ones?
For me, I spawned as a sniper, and I couldn't ADS at all on any of my weapons. I couldn't ADS with my sniper, so I essentially had to no scope, which I can't no scope across the freaking map. This isn't freaking Call of Duty. But yeah, I got wrecked immediately because I couldn't ADS and counter snipe effectively. The tanks, I also got stuck on like everything. It was
it's worth mentioning that we were getting stuck on things that we shouldn't have been getting stuck on. I mean, people are probably assuming that we're like crashing them into buildings, getting stuck. It's actually wide open areas. We were getting stuck on random things. Maybe I don't know what it was all about, but it was just random little bugs and glitches.
I was also getting stuck on some buildings that were definitely supposed to be crushed, and they did crush, but yet I got stuck on the rubble, which I feel I shouldn't have. Like, yeah, like with Battlefield 4, you go through a building, you crush it, and it like collapses part of the walls and stuff like that. You couldn't do that with this. You crushed it, and you get partway through, and then you couldn't go through the rest.
Alright, to sum up though, I mean, with the bugs, the glitches, the terrain, and the special weapons, dude, and all of the other stuff that we've talked about in this review video so far, the bugs were they didn't even come close to deterring me from pre-ordering this game. I still absolutely pre-ordered it, and I am still so pumped to actually play this and experience the like you were saying, the Hindenburg. I don't know if it's the Hindenburg or the Zephyr or whatever, or just a blimp. I'm really pumped to just experience the blimp and the massive scale of all the other multiplayer levels. And I'm really curious to see all the crazy environment changes. Like on the first map alone, we get caught in a huge sandstorm. So I'm really curious to see what are some of the other choices that they have out there.
So what is your overall rating of the game?
Dude, you know, I can't rate Battlefield 1 as a whole. I could only rate the beta, but based on how much fun I had on the beta, I'm gonna have to say that this game is a solid 9.5. Now, I would give it a solid 10 if I didn't get stuck on so many bugs and glitches, but the fact that I gave it such a high rating with having so many bugs and glitches, it just shows how much you're able to look past it and still have an awesome time. Playing as a bomber pilot with your 2 buddies in a plane with you, or going in as a heavy tanker with 4 other buddies or 5 other buddies with you. I mean, you're so easily able to look past it and still just get right back into the game. And a high score that's definitely a high respectable score for the game. What about you? What would you give it, knowing all of the stuff and reviewing it and playing it for the last couple days? What would you like?
So So I had a little bit more game-breaking stuff than you did with like the sniping and couldn't ADS, and I had a lot more glitches than you did. So I would rate it about the same as you, but I'd say about a 9 because of all the different glitches that I had. Yes, it's a beta, so you kind of expect that, but I know that Battlefield 1, the ones that actually fully released, they'll have pretty much everything fixed, at least hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, EA is kind of not exactly the best at fixing all of those glitches right away.
So we averaged between our two scores a 9.25, dude. So we both really liked the game, and we would both highly recommend it to anybody because of the experience that you can get, and it doesn't take away from those what the fuck Battlefield only moments, like those extreme, like you're running and a plane gets shot out of the sky right next to you, or you're going and a tank blows up right in front of you, or you're being chipped. Those are still all in this game, and that's what makes it so much fun.